Bulavinaka, and welcome to another episode of the FNUPulse. My name is Crystal, and today I am joined by our outreach specialist, Varanisese Vakula. So, Vara, before we jump straight into it, could you please introduce yourself, where you're from, and what are we going to talk about today?
Okay, thank you, Crystal. Bulavinaka. My name is Varanisese Vakula. I am the outreach specialist at Division of Marketing and Communications here in FNU. And I am originally from Ovalau, Vangantadi Ovalau, but born and raised in Lautoka.
Of course, the best city.
Yes, of course. And for today, we'll be talking about the recent Careers Expo that I have just returned from, which was held at Lau, Lomaiviti, and Kadavu.
All right. So if you've been following our social media page recently, you have seen a lot of interesting pictures from Lau. Then they went all the way to Kadavu, and then we ended up in Lomaiviti. All right. So you went home, basically. You basically went home, right? So when you were in Lau, we saw some of the nicest pictures, and then they printed Masi for you and all of that. So apart from that, can you give us, how was your journey? How was the trip to all these islands, and how did you feel? How was the experience? We just want to talk about that.
So basically, it was a first-time experience for me.
Right.
Going all the way to Lau, you've only heard about the beautiful islands of Lau, and getting to see it, that's a new experience altogether. And then going to Kadavu is a new experience for me as well. Lomaiviti, it's home, so I have been there also. It was actually a great experience, going to the different islands. So basically, we didn't just visit one island when we were in Lau. We actually had to jump from one to another to another.
So which islands did you visit specifically in the Lau group?
So in Lau, we started off in Yasa Samoala.
Right.
We went to Naroi village, and then we went to Mode, Mode Island. Then we visited Lakemba, Vanuatu, and ended in Vivia.
All right.
And, it's not an easy thing because it's not like the islands are very close to each other. It's a bit of a distance, and it was one day, one island, one day, one island. And this was similar when we went to Kadavu. Kadavu, we visited two places. We went to Vunisia. In Vunisia itself, we visited Vunisia Secondary, and we went to Tavuki.
Right.
And then we got on the boat again, and the next day we were in Kavala, Kadavu. That's on another side
of the island, yes.
And then from Kavala, we went straight to Ngau. We spent a day in Ngau. Then we went to Koro. In the afternoon, we went to Koro. Then from Koro, we ended in Ovalau. So it was actually a trip. First-time trip, getting to see all these islands, getting to see all these beautiful places, and also visiting the secondary schools that you only hear of, but you actually get to step foot there and visit them.
All right. So now while you're talking about, all this traveling, definitely there must have been some challenges, right? So what are some of the challenges that you faced, and, how did you, tackle them or get over maybe your seasickness or things like that? We want to know, girl.
So for the trip, one thing I noticed was the FNU team. Most of us, it was our first time on the boat. So some of the challenges that we did face when we were in Lau was that at that time, that week we were in Lau, we had warnings of tropical depression.
Right.
So there were some rough waves that we faced.
So when you were being rocked to sleep in the boat
every night, and you couldn't even stand at one place. You would have to, when you're walking, you had to hold on to something just to make sure you don't fall overboard or fall down.
Oh my goodness.
And also with the weather, most of the times we had to get off the big ship or a smaller ship, a small boat, and then you'd have to go to the islands, and you'd meet rain on the way and also rough waves. Some of us did fall to seasickness, although I didn't because I'm very strong. And those were some of the challenges that we did face. But we are happy that we did accomplish it. Our main goal was to visit the schools, was to talk to students. So usually when we were traveling from one place to another, we kept on thinking at the back of our minds, this is what we're for. And when we're done, we're just happy, we went through all of that, but we actually achieved what we had come to do.
And you did such an exceptional job, and I'd like to congratulate you on that. You did such a good job on Also, our other members of our FNU team did such a wonderful job. I mean, it's tough being out in the rough waters and then going up and down in a carrier, uncharted waters, maybe uncharted terrain as well. But good on you for doing this. Now, we'll go into our short break, and right after the break, we'll be talking about the impact that our outreach had in this maritime islands. Naka.
Transform your fitness journey at FNU's gym with expert guidance every step of the way. State-of-the-art facilities designed to elevate your workout experience. Become a member today and unlock access to our premium equipment and exclusive benefits. Start your journey today. Equip yourself with the best tools to achieve your fitness goals. Contact us now to get started on your fitness journey.
Welcome back. We're in conversation with Varnise Sivakula, or better known as Vara, who is our outreach specialist here at the Fiji National University. And we were talking about her recent trip to the Lao group, Kadavu, and then you went to the Lomaiviti group, right? So before the break, we were talking about some of the challenges that the team faced. But now we're going to talk about how has our outreach, like FNU's outreach, impacted these communities in these island groups? And if you have any success stories, we would like to hear those as well.
Thank you, Crystal. So, FNU, one of our core values is care. So care, it's very important to us to ensure that, even those that are out in remote areas have access and are aware of FNU's programs, FNU's courses, and what we have to offer students. Right. Remembering that core value, we were able to take the services from here in the mainland and take it out to the remote islands, to the maritime islands specifically, to Lao, to Kadavu, to Lomaiviti. Not only were students given the opportunity to apply for 2025, we also brought with us the representatives to come and talk about the programs that we have, the courses that we have. Remember that FNU, we don't only just have higher education programs, but we also have TVET programs. Right. Programs that help those that are early school leavers.
Right, those dropouts. Yes.
Those that are wishing to upskill. Year 13 students, year 12 students, even some year 12 students were considering, they were asking us, what are your TVET programs? Right. What kind of programs are these? So this expo was a way to step out of the mainland from here, go out into the remote areas, show the value of care that FNU has. Because remember, Crystal, that FNU, we have programs and courses that is tailor-made for everybody. Right. When we were there, even teachers came up to us, they asked us, maybe I finished my program, but I want to continue to further studies. Right. We had representatives that were able to assist them and let them know, okay, this is what you can do. This is the program you can take. We even had some early school leavers that wanted to resume their studies. Some were in university, but then maybe due to some issues, they decided to stop. And then they came to us and they're like, I was in FNU, I want to resume my studies, what can I do? So this expo was an opportunity to bring what FNU has to offer straight to their doorsteps. Right. And with the expo, the success stories that we had, also with year 13 students, most of them weren't able to come for open day 2024. Right. We did reach out to them, but they weren't able to come. So we brought the services to them. We were there. We were able to assist them, tell them, okay, these are the programs that FNU has to offer for 2025. If you're thinking what to do next year, we can assist you. Application forms, we brought application forms if you want to fill instead of
them coming
over to the mainland, because Lao, if you see the group of islands in Lao, it's quite a distance. Yes. And usually they would come around when it's school holidays. Sometimes they have network difficulties, financial restraints. Also in Kadavu, Lomaiviti, the only time that would be given to them to come over would be during school holidays. Right. So this was an opportunity for them to, instead of coming here, we came to them right to their doorstep. Advised them, gave them academic advice. We also gave them their forms, and we offered them their provisional offer letters on the spot.
Right. So there was a school that that I think we had found out. All of the students in year 13, they went home with a provisional offer letter, right? So that goes on to show about how FNU is bringing convenience right to your doorstep, especially for those people who are living in rural, remote, and maritime islands. So we're not talking about Tavuki, right? It's right up in the highlands. So it just goes on to say that internet connectivity might not be as great as well. There are some parts of Laos that are still struggling with internet connectivity. So when we are saying, oh, you can go and apply online, it doesn't really apply to them. So we made things easier. And like you said, emphasizing on our core value, the first of our core values, which is care, and taking all our services to the Lao Group of Islands. And I have to commend you and all of our college reps that accompanied you as well. I just want to know, is there some places on this trip that like really stood out to you or just like left an impact on your life?
For me, I think it would have been, 2 places.
Right.
One was in Laos, actually, which was Morde.
Right.
And one was in Koro.
Right.
So with Laos, what stood out for me was the hospitality there.
Of course.
Hospitality in Laos, in Morde, especially in Morde. I mean, we came and there were ladies there that actually gave us masses as a show of appreciation and gratitude for us coming. And I think the second one was in Koro, because in Koro, when we went to Koro High, we came and we were like, man, this is such a modern school. Even the quarters were newly built.
Yeah.
Then we heard the stories that this school was badly affected by Winston.
Yeah.
And most of those quarters that were there, they were recently rebuilt. But then they were telling us like this place, after Winston, there was nothing left. And when you stand from Koro and you look down, there was a village just by the sea. And they were telling us like that village was rebuilt, but after Winston, there was nothing left. So, that was one thing that stood out for me, being in Koro and in Morde. Yeah. I guess the resilience of people as well.
Absolutely. I was just about to say that. I mean, it's amazing how our people living in, our far-flung islands are so much more resilient than the people on the mainland, And we take very little things for granted all the time. And, just thinking about that, imagine going to a school and one morning you wake up after probably the strongest cyclone in the history of the world and your entire school is vanished. So that must have been so emotional.
I think when we did our outreach in Koro, that was one thing we were, advising the students. You guys have gone through so much. Yeah? So after high school, don't think, okay, just after this, I'll go back to the village. No, you have to strive for more.
Yeah.
Because seeing Koro, seeing how they've rebuilt themselves, we were encouraging the students. Don't just dream, don't just think after year 13, that's it. Dream big.
Yeah.
You guys can go into tertiary studies.
Absolutely.
Become doctors, become teachers, become something more. Just because, they've been through so much.
Yeah.
And they're resilient people. So, this was one thing that we encouraged them during the outreach in Koro.
Thank you so much, Farah. Now, finally, if anybody else is interested, whether it's a community member, a community group, a youth group, a church group, if anybody is interested for our outreach team to come and speak to, their young people, maybe to even their women's group, how can they reach out to you?
Okay, so you can reach out to us on our email, outreach@fnu.ac.fj. You can let us know what specifically you'd want us to come and speak on, the programs or the courses, the target audience as well. And like I mentioned, we have programs that are tailor-made for everyone, and we would be able to come, visit, speak on these programs for you.
Right. So, as we have said and as we've discussed, this year our theme for 2024 FNU Open Day was Dream It, Wave It, and Achieve It. So for FNU, it doesn't matter where you are based in Fiji, where you're from the beautiful islands of Laos, if you're from Kadavu or if you're living in the Lomaiviti group, FNU is here to turn every dream into reality. And we would like to thank you once again, Farah, for taking out your time and talking with us about your wonderful journey in all of this group of islands. And if you are watching and you want to reach out to us and you want us to come and speak to maybe your youth group or your women's group, Farah has mentioned, you can reach out to us on our email, outreach@fnu.ac.fj, and we'll be right there speaking about our programs and how you can join us and turn your dreams into reality. Till the next time, thank you so much.